Cute. I accidentally flirted with the tiny alien girl. Now she won't stop staring at me. The docking bay lights flickered as I finished the day's maintenance checks. The hum of generators, the distant echo of metal footsteps, the occasional hiss of hydraulics. It was the music of my life aboard Station K-27. I wasn't anyone important. Just an engineer keeping ships patched up long enough to limp home. But that night my routine cracked open into something strange. A small figure stood by the supply crates near my workstation. Barely 4 feet tall, wrapped in a silver cloak, with delicate hands clasped nervously in front of her. Her skin glowed faintly, pearlescent like starlight trapped under glass, and her eyes were enormous, reflecting every lamp in the hangar. For a moment I thought she was a lost child. Then she looked up, and her gaze pinned me in place. Not human. Not even close. Can I help you? I asked, trying not to sound as startled as I felt. She tilted her head. You fix ships. Her voice was soft, melodic, but her words were accented, clipped as if she were still learning my language. That's me, I said, tapping the side of my tool belt. Engineer. Who are you? Instead of answering, she walked closer, her cloak shifting to reveal a slender frame covered in faintly glowing patterns, like constellations inked into her skin. I am Lyara, she said finally. From the Serati delegation. That explained the glow. Serati were rumored to be starlight-born. Still, it was rare to see one alone in a place like this. Well, Lyara, you lost. This bay isn't exactly tourist-friendly. She frowned, her huge eyes narrowing as if she didn't quite grasp the sarcasm. Something inside me softened. Maybe it was the way her voice wavered, or maybe the sheer fragility in her posture. I gave her a half-smile. Cute, I muttered under my breath, not realizing I'd said it aloud. Her head snapped up. Her eyes widened. Cute, she repeated, the word rolling off her tongue like it was some sacred phrase. Froze. I didn't mean, well, I did, but not like. But it was too late. She just stood there, staring like I'd just unlocked the secrets of the universe with a single word. The next day, she was waiting outside the bay when I arrived. Good morning, Lyara, I said cautiously. She stepped closer. Say again. What? Cute. I rubbed the back of my neck. It was just a compliment. Humans say that sometimes. She blinked slowly, like she was committing each syllable to memory. Humans say, cute. And then she just stared. Not blinking. Not moving. Just those galaxy-deep eyes locked on me. I tried to work. Tightened bolts, patched wiring, calibrated thrusters. Every time I glanced up, there she was, watching. Like she was studying me, dissecting every movement, every gesture. By the end of the shift, my nerves were frayed. Okay, look, I said, setting my wrench down. Why are you following me around? She hesitated, clutching her cloak tighter. On Seraph, she whispered. When someone sees another as bright, they call them by special word. Closest in your language is cute. No. I didn't mean it like that, I said quickly. It's just friendly. Harmless. No promises attached. But she shook her head, her glowing skin pulsing faintly like a heartbeat. You spoke it. You cannot take back. For 3 nights she shadowed me. I'd leave the station cafeteria. She'd be there. I'd check tools in the hangar. She'd be perched on a crate, legs dangling, watching. Even in silence, I could feel her gaze, drilling into the back of my neck. Crew started whispering. Who's the star girl? Why is she glued to you? I didn't have answers. And truthfully, part of me didn't mind. There was something about her presence, gentle, unwavering, that I couldn't quite shake off. She was curious about everything. The taste of station rations, the hum of power converters, even the grease on my hands. One evening, I caught her staring again, chin resting on her knees. "Why me?" I asked quietly. She tilted her head. "Because you saw me. I'm sure lots of people saw you. Not the same. Others look. You saw." The sincerity in her voice hit me harder than I expected. Maybe she wasn't just some strange alien with odd customs. Maybe she was just lonely. The turning point came a week later. An alarm blared through the hangar. Oxygen leak in Bay 6. I sprinted across the deck, tools rattling against my belt, adrenaline drowning out thought. The leak was worse than expected. Valves jammed, pressure spiking. I fought with the controls, every second dragging us closer to catastrophe. And then Lyara was there. Small, fragile-looking Lyara, pressing her glowing hands against the breach. Her skin patterns flared brilliant white, energy thrumming through the air. The pressure stabilized. The alarms died. I turned breathless. "You saved us." Her legs trembled, but her eyes were locked on me. "Cute," she whispered again, voice trembling, as if the word itself kept her standing. Something inside me cracked wide open. Later, after the crisis passed and the bay was sealed, I found her sitting alone by the observation window. Stars stretched endless beyond the glass, reflected in her eyes. I sat beside her. For once, she didn't speak. She just leaned her head against my shoulder, small and warm. "I think I understand now," I murmured. "On Seraph, cute isn't just a word. It's a bond, isn't it?" She nodded faintly. "You cannot take back." I chuckled softly. "Guess I'll just have to live with it." Her fingers brushed mine, tentative, trembling. And I didn't pull away. The days that followed felt different. She still stared at me, always, but the weight of it had changed. Less unsettling. More grounding. Like a star I hadn't realized I'd been orbiting all along. I used to think my life was nothing special. Just bolts, wires, and endless hums of machinery. But when Lyara looked at me, it was like I was something rare. Something worth holding on to. And maybe, just maybe, I'd been wrong all along. Ending. From then on, whenever someone asked why the tiny alien girl followed me everywhere, I didn't have to stumble for excuses. "She's with me," I'd say simply. And Lyara, still staring at me with those galaxy-deep eyes, would smile faintly, like she'd known it all along.